Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last tribute to Olivia Newton-John. I suppose over a couple of videos, we first of all looked at Greece. Of course, she was Sandy in that, and then just her in her career. It's a bit of a tribute to her, how much loved she was in the world. It was a bit of a loss when Olivia died. Well, we're going on to another tribute today, and we're looking at Australian music royalty today. The story started in Melbourne in 1962. It was Athol Guy on bass decided, hey, let's do a bit of a thing here. He got Keith Podger, the 12-string guitar genius prodigy, Bruce Woodley as a bit of a songwriter, and of course Judith Durham on lead vocals. And when the minute you mention those four names, you know I'm talking about the Seekers. Absolutely not just successful in Australia, but also in the UK and the US. And, you know, first of all, we've got to pay tribute to Athol, Keith and Bruce for the incredible backup vocals these guys did and their instrumentation and everything else that went on. And they were just an amazing compliment to Judith Durham, who's got one of the voices, really. Her voice is absolutely stunning. And these four will go down in history as one of the best Australian bands of all time. Very much influenced by folk. We're talking the 1960s. Bob Dylan and all those sort of people doing what they were kind of doing. And they were very, very successful, not only in Australia, but also in the UK and the US. So, in fact, one of the first Australian acts to get very successful in those two countries. So these guys will always go down as very influential in that way. They went over to the UK earlier in their career and played around a bit of the circuit around there. They got a 12-month residency on a cruise ship, so that's pretty cruisy right there, being looked after the whole 12 months. And so they were the entertainment for a cruise ship, which is pretty cool. In 1967, they came back to Australia and played at the Melbourne Myer Music Bowl to an estimated 200,000 people. That's I think in the Guinness World Records as the most people at a concert in the Southern Hemisphere. So that was pretty amazing. People loved the Seekers and they just wanted to see them come back to their home country. 1968, a bit of an unusual Australian of the Year. Normally that's given to one person, but this time it was given to them as a group. So that's a pretty significant thing right there, just 6 years after they started. It was around 1968, they've been doing this thing for a while, pretty heady days for the Seekers, and they disbanded. They wanted to see what, particularly Judith wanted to do what she could do on her own. So at that disbanding a television show, an estimated 10 million people viewed that particular show on TV. There were a few, I suppose, changes and continuations in the next period, but everyone just wanted Judith Durham to come back. And in 1992, there was a reunion, 25-year anniversary. Then there was a 102-date tour, and of course that was just sold out the whole wherever they went. So it was a pretty significant reunion, and Australia just collectively breathed a sigh of relief that the four of them were back. In 1995, they were inducted into the ARIA Hall of Fame, Australian Record Industry Association, so that was only a matter of time before that was going to happen. 2002, they were acknowledged by Australia Post with a series of postage stamps. In 2015, they were inducted into the Music Victoria Hall of Fame. And it was around that 2013 period that they celebrated 50 years and started to embark on a farewell tour. And again, that was a very, very significant time for Australia right there, playing their final concert in Melbourne. Of course, the world was rocked on the 5th of August 1922 when Judith Durham left us at the age of 79. Australia can't really put their finger on what made the Seekers so significant. I think we just love them. We just love the harmonies, the incredible guitar playing of Bruce and Keith, Athol's kind of steady bass behind the scenes, and Judith's incredible vocals. The Seekers were just the all-round performers, instrumentation, harmonies, the whole thing. And of course, there's some pretty amazing songs. I want to get onto some of those in a minute. They could do the beautiful ballads, but they also could be a little bit upbeat. We've got to realise that the Seekers were all of their own when there was just the four of them on stage. But, when they added other instruments as well, it really brought them to life even more. Between 1963 and 2019, so there was some gaps in there, 12 studio albums, 7 live albums, 35 compilation albums. Very successful in Australia, New Zealand, the UK and the US, having #1 albums in a lot of those places. Estimated to have sold around 50 million albums, so that's not bad for a folk group. So let's get on to the clips. So I've got all of their iconic songs really, and most of these songs are live. We've got The Carnival Is Over. In 1965, this particular single was estimated to be selling about 93,000 copies per day in the UK. This song got to #1 in Australia and #1 in Ireland as well. So we've got a live version going all the way back to 1967. We then got Hey There, Georgy Girl. This comes from the album Come the Day from 1967. This is a live performance from the Ed Sullivan Show, and of course Ed was really, really good at getting people on his show. And if you got on the Ed Sullivan Show, you kind of know you'd made it. People such as Elvis Presley and the Beatles had also got on the Ed Sullivan Show. It was great to see him give them a bit of a go in the US. We then got the official clip of Morningtown, Ride Hey, Whistle Blowing, 1966. Hide and Seekers, so we got the official clip of that one. We then got I'll Never Find Another You from 1969, the best of the Seekers. This is a live version. Such a beautiful lyrics about no, I'll never find another you. It's just a really, really beautiful song to be able to sing to somebody else. This is a great thing about the Seekers. Their lyrics were all very, very wholesome, but they really captured what we were thinking about our significant other person. Sometimes we need to say to that other person, hey, I'll never find another one like you. You make my world amazing. And sometimes we've got to say these things to significant other. We then got the song I Am Australian. This is co-written by Bruce Woodley. And here we have a live version a little bit later on. And Bruce has actually taken the first verse here, and such an iconic song, this one, about where we all started from, what had happened to Australia. Such marked stark differences between verse 1 and verse 2. We've got Dreamtime, and verse 2 we've got Trip, Ships and Iron Chains. This is the irony of Australia right here, and this captures Australia so well. And of course, when you have the Seekers singing this one, who are iconically Australian, you just got hairs standing up on your arms right here. So we've got I Am Australian. We then got A World of Our Own, and I think this is a beautiful song about, shut the door, douse the light, we're not going out tonight, we're going to stay home, away from the bustle of the city and the bright city lights, the whole thing. This is what relationships and intimate moments are there for, to whisk us away from the world, go into a world that's just ours and nobody else's. We can't be up and with things the whole time. Sometimes we've got to get away and be ourselves. And the intimate moments certainly create space for us to be able to do that. So we've got A World of Our Own a bit later in their career right here, but you know what? These guys have still got it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Seeker clips today, and they're all in the description below. And I've also included my last video from Olivia Newton-John, so if you want to recap on her, feel free. What can we say about the Seekers? Australia just loved them. The world loved them, and Australia was just so proud of these guys for the success that they actually got in the world. Proud of the fact that, these guys just were so talented. Judith's voice is just so incredible. The backup vocals were just brilliant. They could take the instrumentation pretty amazing as well. We're just really, really proud of these guys. we love them, and they're always going to be part of the Australian consciousness, that is for sure. So it was only fitting because, I wouldn't have done this video until S, and let's face it, we're a long way away from there. So sometimes we've got to bring acts forward because, they need to be brought forward. And of course, Judith Durham's recent death, I needed to do that. And, I didn't put the video out straight away. Sometimes we need a little bit of a chance to just reflect a little bit more of what made these guys so significant. So my tribute to the Seekers and to Judith Durham today. So if you come back for another one, or this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, thank you to everybody for hanging around and all the rest of it. Really appreciating the engagement we've been getting of late. I'm up to 29 subscribers at the recording of this video. So that's pretty exciting. It's not about numbers really, it's about quality and connecting with these guys more than anything else. Well, that's it for today. Next time I'm going to go on to another group of just kind of remember, but boy, I love this song when it came out, So Long, by the band Fisher Z. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.